About a month ago, I started my forever world in The Sims 4. This was inspired by a trend going around in the Minecraft community where you start one save and that's it. You are challenged to get creative with what the game has just spat out at you. No starting over when a new update drops, that is just the world that you play in now. I decided to pull this concept over to The Sims 4 as an experiment to see if it could cure my semi-state of apathy which I've gradually fallen into with the game over the last few years, and I'm excited to say that I think it's working. So today I thought I'd give you guys a quick update to share my progress that I've made so far in my Sims 4 Forever world and outline some of my plans going forwards. If you missed the last video where I created this save file and got started with it, the playlist is down below if you fancy checking that out after this video. But if you don't fancy doing that, I'll catch you up to speed on everything super quickly. So after getting my world opened up and tweaking my settings to fit my liking, I started my very first household, and that was with Summer Holiday, who I'd plucked out of the BFF house and dropped into the empty lot across the street. I decided that my main aim to start off with the save file was to focus all of my energy and attention on the very starting neighborhood in Willow Creek. I gradually want to transition to having every lot in this neighborhood to be this container/industrial aesthetic. As I had been craving picking up the businesses and hobbies pack, I had to explore that with Summer. So I've been working to build a home spa business with her, and I'm literally having so much fun. With the spa day pack being one of my favorites in this game, it's been amazing getting to run my own spa as I've wanted to do that in The Sims 4 for so long. I've actually now posted 2 long play style videos since my initial Forever World video went up, and between those and playing in my own time, I believe that the spa is now up to about a 3-star rating. And after having about 10k saved in simoleons, I decided to renovate the spa building to make it way bigger, but after spending a bunch of time doing that and playtesting it, I realized I hated it, so I did a thing. I moved out Liberty Lee and Travis Scott from their huge house across the way, and I actually just upped sticks with Summer and plopped her over there instead because the lot size is so much bigger. I've not playtested it yet, but I have a feeling that this new spa that I built is gonna work so much better going forward. Please don't judge my NAF building skills. I know that I've still got so much to learn when it comes to build mode in The Sims 4, but I generally wanted to go for a very open plan concept just because the initial spa that I'd made, all the Sims were kind of getting bunched up in one area and not really exploring the building as a whole. So if everything looks a little bit strange, that's why. Other than that, I've hired on Knox Greenberg and Celine Lopez to work at the spa, and everything is ticking along nicely other than the odd disruptive customer. And oh my god, Bella! Moving on though, I've also added not 1 but 2 new Sims to this neighborhood, and those are an aged up and glowed up Cassandra Goth. I built her a super basic house that I'm gonna furnish as she progresses in her career at the science facility. Super excitingly, I played out the first few days of Cassandra's new life during my very first live stream in a good few years. I had an absolute blast chatting with you guys and getting feedback on what to do in my forever world in the moment. Your support on this series so far has really blown me away and has just been driving me on to play even more, so thank you so much for all of your lovely comments and generally just watching, I guess. I did also slightly tweak Cassandra's traits. She's originally, I believe, a virtuoso and gloomy. I could be getting that wrong, but I think that's what her traits are. But then after aging her up, I changed them to macabre, genius, and vegetarian, I believe. So as I mentioned, Cassandra is working as a scientist, and my main aims with her is to get her to the top of that career, build a really big underground science lab at her house, and complete the element collection too if I can. And as for what I got up to on the stream, I'll leave you guys with a few of these out of context clips. What the? Mortimer, what? You're an outcast. Your dastardly deeds have alienated you from polite society. We don't care about all of that. We value results. You're a criminal at heart. I can see that in you, so I'll extend you an offer. Are you interested in joining the criminal career to make some serious simoleons as a minor crime lord at rank 5? I think... Even though we know that Cassandra would absolutely slay as a minor crime lord, we're gonna turn that down. With your blessing, we'll go ahead and we'll do that. If that's what you're it's perfecting to. Okay, right, it's time. It's time, gamers. Get ready. She looked so unbothered by that. Oh, this game does make me laugh sometimes. Haha. Take that. Minor crime lord. Yeah, see this? Minor crime lord behavior. Lastly, I've added a sim called Bert Pancakes. He is the much more ambitious and outgoing brother of Bob Pancakes. They have a difficult relationship, I believe, and I'm still not familiar with that aspect of the growing together pack, so I'm intrigued to see how that might play out during gameplay. I've not actually got into live mode with Bert just yet, but I'm also very tempted to get the Home Chef Hustle Kit to start off with that aspect of gameplay. I really want Bert to become this like restaurant mogul eventually, where he just sells a bunch of pancake slash breakfast slash circular food adjacent items. So if you guys have any suggestions for what direction I could take his story in, do let me know in the comments down below, but I am really excited to get into his story. As for the very final minor neighborhood change, I also added this community garden lot, which is where Summer's Spa used to be. This lot is called Magnolia Farmers Market, and the one I've got is just an edited one by Daphne228 on the gallery, and it was originally made by Lights Me Action, I think. I've not visited it yet, but honestly, I just didn't want that lot to be empty, so I might eventually build my own lot there in its place once I've decided what to put there properly. And again, really quick, if you're enjoying the video so far, I'd be super grateful if you dropped a like or even subscribed. Doing those things as well as watching to the end tells YouTube's algorithms that my videos are worth showing to more simmers, so it's great for helping the channel grow. Thanks so much for your attention so far. Before I move on to my future plans going forward for my Forever World, I wanted to touch on the fact that a handful of you guys did mention in my previous video that they were concerned about starting their own Forever World because of the, let's be real, very high risk that it could corrupt, meaning that all of your hard work is lost. That is a super valid concern, and it's something that's haunting the back of my mind faintly, but I guess that it's one that I'm also not too phased by because I'm so used to playing with that being such a big risk coming from my background with The Sims 3. So to protect my save, I've been really diligent about copying my save file and saving copies to my desktop or hard drive every so often. If you don't know how to do this, you can find your game's save files in The Sims 4 by following the file path on the screen here. Yours might be a bit different though if you're playing on a Mac or if you've installed your game on a different area on your machine. Then you just scroll through to the most recent game that you've played. I pull out all of the files that have the same date and then just drop them wherever you want. This is also great if you happen to play The Sims 4 across both a laptop and a PC, for example, and you want to play the same save file across both devices. I also use the save as function every so often so that I'm not just overriding the same save over and over again, but creating new save files. That way, if your game does corrupt, you can go back to the older files instead of having all of your progress be lost entirely. Honestly, I'm not sure if there's much of a point of doing both of these methods, but again, because I'm scared, I do. So as I mentioned in the last video, this Forever World has been a bit of an experiment to see if I can rekindle my spark for The Sims 4 again and really dive into all of the content that I've bought for the game over the years. And right now, I really do think that it's working. I feel so hyped to play this save file. Like, I spend a bit of a silly amount of time thinking about what I want to do in game, even when I'm not playing, which is saying something, as I don't remember the last time that I really felt like I was doing that while playing The Sims 4. I'm planning on making a Notion tracker so I can probably track each household and my Sims' individual goals, as I've also been thinking about making this like master Sims 4 completionist tracker for the game, considering again just how much content there is and how much I still have to explore. If those are both something that you'd be interested in getting your hands on, do let me know in the comments down below and I'll see what I can cook up. Going forward, I'm really excited to see if I can get Summer's Spa Willow Creek Wellness to being a 5-star small business. I'm especially keen to knock out her aspiration as well, as this will really boost the amount that she can earn while providing spa services, I believe. I'm also working to save for a hot tub and sauna, so it feels like a proper spa. Her whole lot really needs a lot more decorating, as there's so much more space now. With Cassandra, I can't wait to dive more into the shenanigans which come with the science career and explore her relationships with the rest of the Goths, as we've seen that she doesn't really get on well with Mortimer, but that she's very close with Bella, so. I've also noticed that I've been coming up with so many ideas for what I want to do with the rest of the save file, because I have literally, again, only been editing this one tiny neighborhood out of the tens that must be in my game by now. These include turning a neighborhood in Oasis Springs, or honestly even buying the Strangerville pack if I'm feeling extra spicy, and recreating Strange Town from The Sims 2 DS. I don't know how well it would work, but it could be cool to try making the hotel now that we've got the businesses and hobbies pack too. Or I'm thinking about going in and making Angela and Lilith Pleasant's parents, Daniel and Mary Sue, and moving them into the neighborhood where Eliza and Bob Pancakes live, and generally turning that part of the world into Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives. Again, I've got so many ideas right now, I have to hold myself back and actually explore and play with the households that I've made already, rather than setting up new ones and just abandoning the old ones, if that makes sense. But that's about all of the Sims 4 Forever World updates that I've got for you guys today. I wanted to share a shorter and more condensed version of my progress for those who aren't a fan of the lives or the long play style of videos, so I hope you enjoyed if you did get to this part of the video. Once again, hearing how this series has inspired some of you guys has got me so fired up to keep going with this series, so thank you so much for all of those fantastic comments. Other than that, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon.